Hi, I'm Sug.
I'm Dan.
This is the Demystified Zone, an unauthorized North Korean podcast. What's up, Dan?
Hey,
Welcome back.
thank you, man.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
You were gone.
I was texting you on my trip.
Well, I wasn't texting back.
Yeah, we're a little
Did
bit.
I? Honestly, I've been gone too,
Yeah,
but just
yeah.
not as far as you went.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Dan is returned from the motherland.
Yes.
We don't want to be too specific in case someone's listening. We don't want to say he flew a particular private airline. Just kidding, he didn't.
I did not.
He didn't.
Yeah, I went to Korea again. Yeah.
What did you watch on the plane? How many movies do you watch on that ride?
So on the way there, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the movies. So I just listened to a bunch of podcasts and tried to sleep. 14 and a half hours.
That's brutal.
14 and a half hours. It was
Did you have an upgraded seat?
aisle seat. That's
But in economy?
yeah.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
I was on like a 4-hour flight. I just came back from Vegas and I had uncomfortable, like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I had to get up like twice just because my weird torso can't sit comfortably in a plane and sleep.
Yeah.
But 14 hours, good God.
14 hours. I forgot my neck pillow.
Oh.
It was bad.
Was it packed?
Yeah. They're always packed now.
Really?
After the pandemic. Yeah.
How many Koreans versus other non-Koreans are on there?
Okay. Interestingly, maybe not interestingly, a lot more Koreans on the flight there than on the flight back.
So we're sending Koreans there, but we're not taking them back? Is that what I'm getting?
I think, Incheon Airport is like the hub for a lot of, Asian countries. So
Yeah.
So a lot of people from the Philippines and Southeast Asia.
Sure. China, all those. Was that direct flight from Chicago?
From Chicago to Incheon, yeah.
Oh, wow.
14. And
Wow.
it's because you can't fly over Russia now.
Okay.
So talk about geopolitics. You have to, you do an arch over Alaska into Russia through China and then to Korea.
That's the direct route, you mean?
That's the direct
That would have
route.
been the direct route.
So you have to cut it short of Russia, which adds another hour.
Is that because they
Thanks,
want to fly
Russia.
over land and they don't want to be over open water in case something happens?
Oh.
Why do they take that route? Is that
No,
just the
because
direct
of
route?
the war and Russia.
No. I know that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, but normally, why would they take that route? Is that the most direct route?
It's the direct route.
To
yeah.
go over land?
No, it's just
Am I not understanding the
It's
world
just the most
and how
direct-
it's shaped?
yeah, because if you take a string on a globe
Yes.
and you connect Chicago to Incheon, it'll be over Alaska. This route, this circuitous route, is actually the most direct.
That's a
route.
huge word you just used.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my brain just blew up. Circuitous.
It's the arc. Yeah, that's
But I get it.
yeah.
Okay. Now it takes longer.
It
So it would have
takes
been what, like a
longer.
12-hour flight normally?
Like 13. Now it's 14 and a half. Brutal.
Oof. Well,
On the
welcome-
way back, it was like 11 and a half, which was nice.
why
it
does
felt
it?
like
Why is it always
nothing.
faster? Is it because the winds?
The
with
wind. I think it's because
the
of the wind. yeah.
world spins at a certain rate, and we're going faster on the way back.
I think it's because of the wind, but I'm not sure.
Well, that's I guess what I meant. The world's spinning, and the wind is spinning in that way. You guys like my physics here? Am I coming off as the most smart,
So,
intelligent
so the
podcast
movies
host
that
ever?
I watched on the way back was A Star Is Born, which I cried, and another one. This is a newer one, Past Lives.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
going to talk
gosh.
about this movie, but only in that because I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Probably because, and she's gonna get mad. She doesn't listen to our podcast, but my wife is forbidding me to watch it.
Why?
Not forbidding me. I'm
Because
just
she
saying,
wants
she's
to watch it with you.
No, exact opposite. She's already watched it, so I don't. Okay, so she just thinks I won't like it,
Oh, okay.
but then it's it's one of those things where we're with friends, and she's like, "You guys gotta watch Past Lives." And I'm always like, "Wait, why can't I want to watch it?" And she's like, "No, you're not gonna like it." And I'm like, "Wait, why? That hurts my feelings."
It is.
I heard it was really good though. Now I'm gonna watch it.
your Jean-Claude Van Damme type of movie?
Come on.
That you
know what? That's an unfair portrayal
Dude,
of my
every
movie taste.
episode you
I'm not saying I don't love Jean-Claude Van Damme. Don't confuse my words, okay? I'm not saying I don't love, but I have more things I like.
Okay.
But I will watch it. I've just heard nothing good things, but you liked it.
It was beautiful. I thought it was really, really good.
And it's about Koreans and the return to Korea kind of deal, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's about. I just know I'm not allowed to watch it.
Where can one watch this?
It was in the theaters this summer, I think.
Oh, okay.
But now I think it's on streaming.
You can rent it now,
Yeah,
but then it's on all the airlines. Like, it made it on all the airlines
Yeah, yeah.
that I'm not allowed to watch.
It's about being Korean and having to grapple with your new identity here in America and just your identity as a Korean as well. Which I was feeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to Korea.
That's what I was
That's why it
feeling,
hit you harder?
Yeah, I think so.
Not A Star is Born, like your rise to a musical pop star.
That hasn't happened
You didn't
for
relate.
me yet.
You didn't relate as
No,
hard. Like,
no.
man, why won't anyone discover me? I've been mopping this bar for years, singing my songs.
My kids really like my songs. That's about it.
Do they?
They do. They love them.
They jam out with you?
They tell me to start a Spotify music thing.
Hello? Why not?
I just don't have the courage, man.
Do it. We support you.
My nose is too big for
We
the
support-
industry.
What? What? Okay.
That's what the executives told me.
Well, you're beautiful in my eyes, Dan. And that's the great thing about radio. No one has to look at your face. I don't know if you heard that before.
Face for radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though we record our faces right now, you guys don't need to see us if you don't want.
You don't need
They have a
to.
choice now.
They
Everyone
have
has
a
a
choice.
choice now. They don't have to look at your face.
I-
But they can
I-
hear your angelic voice.
They can.
Well, welcome back. And since you just returned from the motherland,
I did.
I feel like we need to do we need to do an update.
Yeah.
We need to update what's Korea like these days? What's going on? What's the zeitgeist? What's the buzz? Tell us. What news have you from the motherland? Tell us.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So as far as like global politics and events around the world, I think South Korea is too busy to care about very many things, especially like even North Korea. It doesn't seem like anyone really cares or even knows about the issues. But I will say, like, in talking to government officials, they are afraid now of a Hamas-style attack on South Korea, and they are preparing diligently for something like that.
The government is preparing.
The government, yes.
And they're worried North Korea is going to attack them just because of the general nature of things in the world right now. Unsettling things.
Yeah,
that
they
are
saw it
happening.
happen over there, and now they're like, whoa, I don't think we're prepared for that. So they're preparing themselves.
And so what is the general public so busy that they're not blinking an eye? What's
everyone
everyone up to
works
over
like
there?
70 hours a week, you know? And, like an hour and a half commute is pretty normal. So on top of that, it's like these giant commutes. Kids are in school till like literally 11 p.m. at night. I mean, everyone's really busy it's a very scarce situation where land is very scarce and kind of just trickles down to everything else. And you got to work hard in Korea to survive.
And just for context, this is in Seoul you're talking about. You
No.
you were all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like everywhere in the country. You feel
Yeah.
like everyone's hit this like busybody rhythm of I'm too busy to care about the rest of the world right now. I need to focus on me and what's going on here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Any rumblings or hints of rumblings about North Korea from anyone?
Well, I mean, most of the people that I spend time with out there are North Korean.
Yes. And what's their perspective? How do they feel about the current state of the union?
I mean, I don't think they care either, actually, because they're just mad at their country. You know, they're very. I've spoke to some people.
They're mad about North Korea after escaping from North Korea.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard some really dark stories this time. I mean, and it was like a conversation that was like, those are the kind of people that live in North Korea, sort of thing.
We just did an episode about the how-to, right? We did a how-to defect from North Korea.
Yeah.
Were the people you were speaking with, did they follow that general plan to get to South Korea? Like they went all the way through China, came out through the South, Thailand, or one of those South Pacific countries and came to South Korea that way?
Yeah, most of them were sold. I spoke to a man who defected from North Korea, and he wasn't sold in China, but yeah, he took that general route.
Wow. And so
because the first piece of advice was don't be a woman.
Yes.
So he took.
No, I said don't be a man. That was the first advice.
Oh yeah, that's
it was
true.
opposite. It was don't be a man.
That's right.
So he didn't take the advice. You don't remember your own advice. It was right. He defied the odds. Then.
He did, and he escaped. He lived right along the border, though.
So he had an easier access. That was another thing. Be closer.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
During the famine, he brokered arms deals from North Korea to Chinese gangsters.
Wow.
Because during the famine, like even the military people were like,
wait. Hungry. Which way? He was selling North Korean guns to the Chinese gangsters?
Yes.
What?
And he did very, very well for himself.
How did he get that job?
He was just at
Was
the
he in
right
the military?
place. I mean, everyone had to do the military thing, but he had connections. He was connected.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
He was selling guns to Chinese gangsters.
Yeah, and I sang karaoke with him.
What? Okay, I don't want to spend it all on him, but this is a super interesting. We'll have to do an episode on
this is sort of
him
appropriate
maybe.
for our topic.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's just really interesting.
Yeah.
But let's pull back. Let's pull back. Since we just want to get a pulse.
Okay.
On North Korea and where are they right now? Where do they stand in the geopolitical climate we are in today, which is very stressful.
Yeah.
The last 5 years have been super stressful. Yeah. But especially in the last 2 years, it's just, now we're adding like more conflicts, one after the other right now. Let's just do like an assessment. Let's do, where does North Korea stand? How are they positioning themselves? What are the different things? So let's go through, well, top of mind first for you. What is your impression when I ask that question? Where's North Korea?
I think they are a little bit more important in the world than they used to be.
Okay. Explain.
The world is at war right now. Ukraine, in Israel, in Palestine, potentially Taiwan, in China.
South America, too. There's a lot of conflicts brewing down there.
And you need weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So from Russia and China, right, for Russia, it's not like the biggest arms manufacturers in America will sell them arms, we think.
Yeah.
We think.
Yeah. Yes.
But so they have to go to their friends, and we spoke about this. They have to go to North Korea. And much like my friend who I met in South Korea who sold arms to Chinese gangsters, this is the one asset that North Korea has.
Yeah.
At all times, they have weapons. Right?
Yeah.
And that's why during a famine, when you need food, you're willing to sell your assets to whatever, right? So in this case, it's not like North Korea is going hungry, but they need cash. And because of that, there's customers who need their armaments, and they will sell them. And supposedly they've sold to Hamas.
This is like a big thing that I never really looked into, and I should. Does North Korea have a huge manufacturing thing for like ammunition and are they manufacturing
they're
ammunition,
manufacturing their
bullets,
own stuff.
shells, like AKs, whatever weapons that they have out there?
Yeah.
They are making these now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
it's weird. It's like they went long on like old school weapons manufacturing, and
Yeah, I mean,
saw the demand for it, whether they saw it or not. I think they were planning on using it originally, and then they just kind of like luckily fell into this long play of weapons and ammunition.
Yeah,
which makes sense because there's a lot, for someone with no rules on who they'll sell to or how much, they're definitely in a good position to be able to disperse what they have.
Yeah, it's really interesting now, and so with today is what, November?
It's mid-November.
November 17th. There is a war in Ukraine and there's a war in Israel, and they're providing munitions for them. And now people are saying China, licking their chops. America is occupied with 2 conflicts, and they're Taiwan's biggest protector. And China has said, we guarantee we will take back Taiwan. They're very serious about it. And
well, that makes it okay. So we're talking about November 17th. APEC is happening right now.
Yeah.
It's finishing up this weekend. And Xi
Jinping
Jinping just met with
America.
Biden.
Yeah.
And it was all happy-go-lucky. And, everyone was applauding this meeting. It looked he had said generally positive things, both of them. And it looks, at least from the outside, that this is a positive step forward for U.S.-China relations, which everyone is staring at, right? Because we are the 2 economic powerhouses that run the world, literally.
Yeah, and if we get into a proxy war.
Exactly. And a lot of pundits are saying that they're doing this cordially because both sides understand, like, we need each other going forward. We can hurt each other. This can get ugly real fast.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me. It is interesting, though, like when you say things about like how, because I had just heard this morning that I went through this, I heard this article just going through the list of wrongs on both sides in the last like couple years.
Okay.
The spy balloon from China.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The U.S. Blockading and tariffing China imports or exports rather.
Yeah.
There's just been one thing after another. The U.S. Secretary of State going to Taiwan, that really ticked off
Pelosi.
China.
Pelosi
Was it Pelosi? Yeah.
Both of them, I think.
So many things.
Yeah.
It's been like getting kind of nasty, like more than jabs to each other. But this meeting at APEC seemed to be pretty significant. Hopefully, like curbing all of that tension.
Okay.
But like now makes me think about North Korea. I had this thought this morning when I was hearing this, like, how was North Korea reacting when they saw one of their best friends shaking hands with their worst enemy on TV or on these photos? It's like, were they like, the friend of my friend who's now friends with my enemy is now my frenemy? I don't know. Like, how do you think North Korea is feeling about China? Or do they not care? And they know, like, hey, this is all, a horse show.
China is their frenemy. It's not like they agree on everything. North Korea and China often has a contentious relationship. Like that one photo of Kim Jong-un cozying up with that Russian military guy, and the Chinese guy was like off to the side. And the fact that North Korea met with Putin at the velodrome or whatever.
Yeah. The velodrome. The bike dome.
Yeah, whatever. The
space station.
Cosmodrome or whatever. And China wasn't invited, right?
Yes.
It's like that is ultimate FOMO right there, right? Like, hey, I thought we were all friends. Why did you have a party without me? Oh,
but do you think China cared?
You didn't get our call?
Do you think China cared?
Yes, very much so. Yes, they did.
Why?
Because they're supposed to be friends.
I know, but I feel like China and okay, I'm about to get into my speculation opinion territory. So if you disagree with me, please don't let me know. I think China doesn't care. I feel like China just uses North Korea. You know what I mean? Like, in that sense, I mean, I feel like it's both ways too. I don't think North Korea really cares that much about China, and it's just what can I get out of them? And I don't know if they would only if like they felt like Putin and KJU are like conspiring against China. You know what I mean? Like if there was some reason to believe that was happening, then I could see why China would be like, hey, what the heck?
No, I think I read somewhere. Now this is typical like internet talk where I think I read the headline somewhere, but I don't know from where.
You didn't bet anything. You just had this headline.
Yeah, that they were miffed about it.
Okay.
And I think
I'm sure it could have happened too. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't read, so. Jay, you got any pulse on this?
No idea.
None?
No
Okay,
idea.
so none of us are reputable news sources. Everyone knows this about this podcast.
I
You're
don't like-
listening to us right now.
I don't like
You've
being
known
left
this.
out of things.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
If Dan and I meet, you get pretty, he gets pretty upset over there.
Right. If we start a chat without him,
Yeah, he's like, yo, what's up, guys? I'm going to go meet with, who's our Biden? Who's our arch nemesis here? I don't want to name any names.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Okay, so China's in the middle of this, and they're always in the middle of this. And they're cozying up to us now. North Korea, like you said, is positioning itself with all these different conflicts around the world as a weapons arms dealer, as they always have. This is nothing new.
Yeah.
This is nothing new. If anything, it's just because these are more global conflicts now that are like on the front page of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So North Korea is kind of positioning itself in that way. How are they doing on the finance side? Like that's like their one thing. It's one of those things. Like they're so good at so many things, but money it's just not one of those things. They do not know
Cash management.
Yes, their cash flow is always. They're always resorting to the Breaking Bad model, stealing and illegal activities. Where are they there?
Yeah,
Are they
this
same
is purely
song?
speculation.
Yes.
But I'm sure their cash flow is a bit better now with these arms deals.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bump there.
But it's like giving money to a drug addict or something, or a gambling addict, right? It's like the money's gonna go out because they have this thing, their nuclear program.
Yes. They're constantly in debt on that program. There's overspending by, I forgot the percentage amounts. We did a look in our library log of, what the amount on their defense spending is compared to everyone else in the
Like
world.
25%.
It's
or
insane.
something like that.
Yeah, their GDP is like almost majority spent on defense and nuclearization, which is true. It makes sense. Like they're basically selling their arms to upgrade their arms. If you can look at it that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting pretty serious. So if China starts something, then they're probably going to need more guns from North Korea. Yeah, and then what if that shoe drops and the U.S. is occupied in a third conflict? Is it North Korea's turn to? It's kind of like World War I, where we don't know. It's like very hard to define what the pin to drop or what the cause of World War I was. Some prince got assassinated, and then like the world cast domino effect into a world war. Basically, this is my very layman's explanation of it. But that's basically what's starting to happen now. Is one thing is leading to another thing. It's leading to another war. And
I will say this though, I don't think. I understand that the U.S. is always kind of like the referee in the room around the world, but I think we're going to be the last to enter these conflicts. And it's kind of shown that even through the Ukraine-Russian war, which is going on now 2 years, right? Like we are funding, one side of it, and that definitely impacts us. But in terms of like boots on the ground and being in a conflict, like we're not going there. Yeah. And I don't think anyone in this country, whatever side of the aisle you're on, is going to want that for us to get involved in someone else's, business.
Oh, no.
So I feel like in that sense, though China, but that's the thing. I don't think China wants that either. China doesn't want to be involved in a conflict. Like they're still trying to bolster their economy, and they're actually having a lot of problems right now, especially in the real estate. It's like crapping out underneath them completely. Yes. And they're about to go into a depression on their own. Well, we think.
It looks like it.
And there's so much going on. They need us, and we need them. We both need to not be in a more conflict than it needs to be.
But with China now, the motivation of China for the past couple decades has been economic growth,
Yes.
very clearly. But now with Xi Jinping coming to power, it doesn't quite equate to me. Like, it doesn't look like they are going for economic growth. It looks like Xi Jinping is trying to hold on to that power, that ring of power, like Schmiegel.
I think it's both end, right?
No,
like
I don't think so. I think the biggest driver is Xi Jinping. He's getting rid of all of his opposition. He's becoming a dictator. And he's making moves that are hurting the economy deliberately so that he can have more control.
So you're saying because he's putting his needs before the country's, that China will slip in power because...
So, I'm just saying, like, so war is the biggest, like, effector of GDP or whatever, right? Like, you don't want to get into a war. It's really bad for the economy of a country, right?
Sure.
And that has always kept China from engaging in these wars. But now it's a different motivation, is what I'm saying. And if Xi Jinping, for his power's sake or ego's sake, wants to engage, I think they will.
With Taiwan?
With Taiwan. And other conflicts, maybe. So
how would that benefit him, though,
China
politically?
I mean, how does Ukraine benefit Putin? It's just like this ego thing. It's like, no, this is mine, and I'm going to take it. And, And when you go into war, it's like, oh, I could take more power. I could subordinate my enemies more, right? Like Russia, anyone who's against the war gets sent away, blah, blah, blah. It's just an excuse for the powers that be to sort of clamp down on dissension too.
Let me pivot this back to North Korea. No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know if I have an opinion on that yet.
Yeah.
But let me pivot this back to North Korea and where they are globally. So finance-wise, sure, they're always struggling. Trade-wise, they're always struggling.
Yeah.
Minerals and natural resources,
Yeah.
supposedly they have bountiful, but they're not able to leverage it right now because of trade, right? Because of relations with other countries.
Because they don't have gasoline.
Yes. In other sectors, innovation, all this, they're never a player in any of those.
Yeah.
Are they in the same spot? Are they better? Are they, like, overall, how are we grading them on the world power scale of things? Like military wise, that's the only area they've grown every year, right?
Yeah.
That's every year consistently. Military's bigger, they have
Right.
more, and we don't always have exact numbers, but we just know that they spend a ton of money in their military. So they are inevitably going to be growing.
I mean, the question, I think, is really, it's like the U.S., the economy is so strong, innovation is so high in America that we've been able to leverage that into military growth, right? And every other growth. For example, NASA, right? When we sent people to the moon, that not only gave us technologies to send people to the moon, but like everything else, like microchips and Velcro and all these innovations trickled down into society, right?
Sure.
And enabled all kinds of things. So I'm just saying that because North Korea now is in a position where they're experiencing growth and they're experiencing some sort of financial advantage in one spot. Will they be able to parlay that into other growth areas? I don't know. That is yet to be seen.
I mean, if history has shown us anything, they haven't invested necessarily heavily in themselves, or at least in their people, and their own, I guess, in their own infrastructure, for that sake.
Right, and they haven't, and that's partially because the rest of the world won't trade with them, but mostly because of their own actions, their own choices.
I just. We were talking about this a little bit in the pre-show of like these dictator-run countries, and I know North Korea claims it's like a democracy, people's democracy, but in the end, it's a dictatorship of some sort. I just wonder if they have their own club. I mean, do they have their own secret meetings with each other, or are they doing this own little, underground? Hey, you got a secret decoder ring, and we're gonna have a talk together.
I think
and
so.
Sing songs.
I don't know if it's like this official club, but like before Putin, Putin surrounded Ukraine, right? Before they attacked, they just built everything up around the borders, and it was pretty clear that he was going to attack. So before he actually did, he went to China to see Xi Jinping at the Olympics.
Yep.
They had this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And
he met with North Korea, too.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all
KJU.
kind of meeting on, okay, I'm going to do this here, and then maybe...
You think they're talking about it? You think they're letting them know, like,
I think
hey, things might get a little crazy down here. I'm just letting you know because you're my friend, okay?
I'm going to the Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego, and I don't know, things might get crazy.
That's a nod to Jay's story. Check out our other episode about Jay's Hard Rock San Diego experience.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, I wonder, and it's we're laughing at it because it's ridiculous, and it's sad too.
It's reminiscent.
But
yeah,
it makes you wonder: do these guys who don't play by anyone else's rules and want to do what they want to do, and hurt a lot of people in the process?
Yeah.
Do they talk to each other? Do they find like-mindedness in these other countries and have their own little soiree, and be like, hey, what are you? Here's what I'm gonna do this year. You guys want to hear?
Could you not do that?
You want to hear something crazy, guys? Like, I got something this year.
I like your idea, but could you actually do that in the fall and not the summer?
I got a thing going on.
I got a thing, and I want you to do your thing, but can we just like work together? Yeah.
I can only imagine if these meetings do exist that KJU shows up and he's like the awkward dude that doesn't know how to fit in. He's like, I'm gonna shoot missiles over at Japan. He just like blurts it out in the meeting, and everyone's like, what? What the heck? I shot a missile over at Japan. 2 of them. They didn't make it, but I could have made it if I wanted to. Everyone's like, wait, what? We have fun. So
it does remind you of The Simpsons, though, doesn't it? The
Stonecutters.
Yeah.
Yes, the secret society of Stonecutters. I love how The Simpsons. This is from like the 90s, and they're talking about holding back the electric car.
Yeah.
And how the electric car now is here
prescience.
now. You know what? This sounds very North Korean. Even the tone of
That's true.
the song is very North Korean in itself.
It's the minor key, I think.
It's the big band,
Yeah.
and the choral line,
The
singing,
logo,
the sickle hammer. 2 double hammer. They're definitely holding something. They got meetings. At least North Korea's having its own meetings with itself. Like they're singing songs and doing meetings like this. Maybe not as fun, but they're happening.
I do. That's why I want the power of invisibility, because I want to.
You just want to go to one of these meetings?
I want to see what happens. I want to be a fly on the wall.
I think, I think I would just be scared if it was real. I just like to assume that it's happening, but I really don't want it to be real. If it's real and it's really happening, then that would just make me really sad.
It would.
That's a depressing thought. Seeing Putin and KJU singing a song together. They're singing. It's like the movie you watch. I'm on the deep end. And, they're listening to some Gaga out there, and Bradley Cooper, and they're like, "Yes, I get that. I'm here for you.
Yeah,
we're
man.
here. We're here together."
Yeah. Do you think that these sort of meetings go on where they control basically world events?
I just said I don't want it to be true. I'd like to believe. The fun side of me wants to believe that they're happening and wants to know what's going on, but
Yeah, that's
the
true.
logical side of me says I hope they're not happening.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens when you have, people with a ton of power who are not rational or don't care too much about others, put others in front of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, collaborating together.
Yeah.
That's a collaboration that we don't want to see.
Actually, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Right? You don't want to see that.
No.
You know? who knows what crazy things are even happening there, even at the meeting itself.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about what kind of food they're eating, like what kind of extinct animals are on the table that they're eating from, you know, things like that. Like they got dodo birds that they created
Yeah.
so they could eat them like fried chicken.
Don't they have a meeting in like Aspen every year or something like that for the most powerful CEOs and politicians?
Is that like what is that?
It's like the G10 summit or something.
Oh,
like that.
or that too. Yeah.
Jay's just like, you know, like that regular government meeting for policy. Or are you talking more of like the
No, there's
underground
some
cloaks
conference
of
where all the powerful. I think it's Aspen, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
like the what's that cult that everyone the Illuminati?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the that kind of organization. Is that what you're getting at?
So some people, take it another step and say it's the Illuminati.
People be meeting. Let's just say that. You know what? I just don't like meetings in general. So, do I want to see these meetings or do I want to be at these meetings? No.
No way.
Meetings are just the bane of my life, right? You know, I don't need to have more meetings.
That's true.
Nothing gets done in meetings. Same for those meetings, right? Hopefully it's the same actually. That nothing is actually getting done in those meetings. They spent like 20 minutes on just the introductions of people alone per person, you know, and then by that time everyone's like exhausted.
It's a nightmare.
They go through like they introduce each other with like 10,000, you know, adjectives of who they are and how great they are. You know what it is? It's the Immortal Works list right there.
What is that?
The Immortal Works from their North Korean website. Remember that little page, the resume of how great people are. Well, we don't want to end on that note. That's really sad. Because Dan has returned from the motherland, he always likes to bring back Jay and me some special snack surprises. So let's end on a high note and have some special surprise snacks.
All right. I tried to look for the corn soup walnuts, and they don't have many. Korea is a very fast nation. They probably just it didn't work
Out of style. Yeah, they tested that. I agree with that move. I wasn't a fan of that corn soup walnut thing.
Okay, I got garlic bread almonds.
Hold it up for the camera. You gotta hold it up. We got cameras
Garlic
here now.
bread almonds.
Okay. HBAF. 마늘 빵 안 먹들.
Yeah.
안 먹들.
So that's
Almond. I can't recreate it very well. It's almond.
that was for Jay.
Garlic bread and almond.
Because
Okay.
your wife is allergic. I got.
No, she's not allergic to almonds,
Oh,
but that's cool.
this is
Jay, this is for you. I'm gonna toss it to you. You ready?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
this
Thank
is
you.
Seolleongtang ramyeon.
Ooh. I just
Ooh.
made seolleongtang. I just boiled some ox bone for like 12 hours.
Yep.
This is perfect. Thank you. Wow. They'll instify anything nowadays, huh?
I got.
Did you
one
try
for us.
either of these?
I tried both. Yeah.
And
The garlic bread almonds, you know, like with all of these nut things, like it's just sweet nuts with a little bit of flavoring. So, Jay, why don't you give it a try and we'll take it.
Jay, you got the bad
away
one
from
of the
there.
two, he's saying.
Yeah. There's croutons in here.
That's
Garlic
that's
bread.
the garlic bread part.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Jay's opening up the bag. He's got some in his mouth. You got crouton in there and then some green thing look like. Is
It's
it
a
almond?
crouton with an almond.
Are the almond and the crouton
They're
separate?
separate.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's literally a crouton.
garlicky croutons and almonds
Yeah.
in a bag.
You know what? That's not a combination I guess I would have thought of. Putting croutons and almonds together.
yeah,
That's interesting, I guess.
it's always creative.
What
for
say you,
sure.
Jay?
It's all right.
Would you buy that?
No.
Well, I can't make this here, but I'll try the seolleongtang, instant seolleongtang, and bring it back. Oh my gosh, they have like a salt scale on here. Did you see this?
Oh, really?
I think that's salt, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of milligrams of
It's
something.
6
in here.
out of 8 of saltiness.
Yeah, this is trying to give me problems here, Dan. But I will try one and let you. Maybe I'll go half packet. We'll see. But I like how they have like the meat on there. That looks appetizing.
There's no meat in yours.
No, I know. This is freeze dried, whatever,
Whatever they have. Yeah.
like ke in there or something. You guys can look up what that is. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Was there anything that blew your mind or like
Mm.
was like, hey, whoa, Korea?
No, I mean, I don't like the innovative stuff. I like just the old school. Like wherever I I go to all the places where the old men go.
Okay.
So, like
You're an
the
ajushi, basically.
the bathhouses, all very.
There's no like
Ajushi.
robots washing you now, like
I'm
doing that
sure.
demi-scrub
I'm
on
sure
you?
in some sectors, but I like it old school, man. I like to kick it old school. In
You like the
South
old
Korea.
dudes rubbing you down.
Yeah, yeah.
They got the
I don't
old
want
man
no
string.
robots. Yeah, I don't want to be put through like a car wash machine.
That's pretty cool. I wonder if they have that actually. That's a great
I'm
idea.
sure
I
they
just came
do.
up with a robot run demi scrub. Ooh.
See,
And you could pick
were
the
in that
intensity.
industry.
Like I want to be bleeding to like, no, just lather me up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like old school.
All right. Well, next time you go, please look for the robot
I will.
car wash. All right. A body wash rather. Hey listeners, if you'd like to make a real impact in the lives of North Korean refugees, please consider donating. Go to crossingbordersnk.org and click on the donate button in the upper right. It's so easy, your aging appa can do it by himself without FaceTiming you first thing in the morning for help with his iPhone.